to our YouTube channel. As usual, I'm William Chide, a software developer as well as a poultry farmer. So today we are going to see how our chicks have gone. Those who have been following, this is the third week when we are in brooder for the Kuroiler. So for the Kuroiler, they have made 3 weeks. They are making 24 days. Today is Saturday, 23rd November. So as you see that they have increased in the size. But last time I told that someone asked that why should we go for broilers and locals, but not the commercial layers or the broiler. So I'm going to talk about that today. Why we try to choose the Kuroiler. Actually, we are shifting from the local going to Kuroiler. Though we still have some 60 locals at the farm, and the Kuroilers, as I told you last time, they are 30. So this one, they are the one which are now making 3 weeks. We have 10 locals and 30 Kuroilers. But we have the other 60 we brought last time. I don't know if those who have been following, you still remember that last week we had some 30 and the other week we had 30. So those ones are also growing well. But today our main focus is going to be on why are we shifting to Kuroiler. So before going into the Kuroiler, let's first talk about the poultry business in general. So what does someone need to start a poultry business? First of all, you will need a chicken house. It can be a cage or it can be a house. Like most of the farmers in Uganda, we construct these chicken houses using the cheaply available materials. You can use the iron sheets, you can use the bricks. So it depends on your, like on the amount of the money you want to invest into poultry and the size of the house. So after having that chicken house, then the next thing will be getting the chicks. You can either get the day one chicks, or you can get 1 month. Those are after brooder, depending on the type of the chicks, the type of the breed you want to go in. So that one will depend on the breed. But if you are just starting, or if you have less capital, then I would recommend you to go into Kuroilers and local, because those are the breeds that can survive from anywhere and in any condition, as we shall go, as we're going to see the benefits of Kuroilers. So after setting up everything, then you get those chicks. If you are now, let's go into Kuroilers and locals. This one, they are a bit similar and they have just a few differences. So when we talk about the Kuroilers, before going into their advantages, let's first have a brief introduction on where these Kuroilers originated from. So this Kuroiler breed was brought in by the keg farm, and that was India in the 1990s. So these keg farms, they had some breeds of chicken at their farm, which included the Rhode Island Red and the White Leghorn. And they crossed these breeds with the broiler to come up with the Kuroiler. So that breed came from the Kuroiler. So what were these Rhode Island Red? Those when they used to lay red. I don't know if you have been on the market, you can see we have 2 types of egg. So we have the eggs which are a bit brownish and the one which are white at the shells. So those are The Rhode Island Red used to lay the brownish. When I say the brownish, we just look at the shell color. Then the other white leghorn, for them they used to lay white. Those are white shells, eggs. So they cross them with the broilers, so that they acquire a breed which is efficient at egg production, resistant to diseases, and as well as effective to meat. So that's where we came into going into the Kuroiler type of breed. So why should someone choose to go into the Kuroiler breed? These are some of the advantages of rearing or keeping Kuroiler birds. So the Kuroiler birds, first of all, you can start with a few number. If you are just a starter and you just start with 5 to 10, that will be an advantage. Because if we consider some types like the layers, to be effective on layers, you need at least 500 or 1,000 birds at the farm, because they are only for egg production. So the more number you have, the more eggs you produce, and the more you have at the market, because at the market they need numbers. If you can, for example, if you can get 10 trays per day, then if you are going to supply someone who wants maybe 30 trays per week, then you will manage to give him that number of eggs. But for the Kuroilers, if you have 5 Kuroilers and they grow, someone can come and take one, another one take one, until when they are all finished. Sometimes people say that the Kuroilers take long to grow. Yes, they grow between around 5 to 6 months. Though at 4 months they can also be sold. But let's take an average of 5 months. So you will have your Kuroilers in the brooder for 1 month, 4 weeks in the brooder. Then after 4 weeks, we shall go to the grower stage. That is before laying any egg. It can go for 3 months, then plus the other 4 weeks. Let's say that it has gone for 5 months, then you start seeing the eggs. That's when they will start laying. Some start at 4, some start at 5. So depending on the breed you have. So if they start laying eggs, now we are into the benefits. So Kuroiler can give you, we call them dual purpose type of birds. So those ones, they can give you eggs as well as meat. So if you want to hatch day 1, like if you have just started and you want to hatch day 1, let's say that you started with 5 birds, whereby you have 4 parent Kuroiler hens and 1 cock. Then that means that when they start laying at 5 months, that for the 30 days they will lay at least, each will lay 20 eggs. So those are 60. Those are 60 for 3 plus the other 20. Those are 80. So you have 80 eggs by the end of 1 month. That is the minimum, 80 eggs. So if you take those eggs to the hatchery, if you hatch 80 eggs, expect at least to get between 60 to 70 chicks. So if you also keep those 60, let's say 60, and if you get challenged and maybe raise 50, 10, let's say that 10 died on the way, so you have 50, you are going to keep those on for 5 months again. Then after 5 months, you have them starting to lay eggs. So when they start to lay eggs,
out of the 50, let's say that you have maybe 40 hens and 10 cocks. So when you have 40 hens and they all lay eggs, that means that every day you get at least 30 eggs. That is one tray. So by the end of the month, you get at least, let's say that each one in the month laid at least 20. So that means that by the end of the month, you have 600 eggs. So we began with the other 5, we went to 50, and now we went to 600. Remember, the other 5, they are also still laying. So if you're going to hatch 600 eggs, and a minimum you can get maybe around 500 chicks, day one old chicks. If you get those 500 and raise them, so by the end of the next month, you have more than 1,000. So that's how I thought that when you start with 5, by the end of the year, you have more than 1,000 day one chicks, at least. So you just have to minimize which number you want, and that's all. So apart from eggs and day one chicks, at 5 months you can sell your Kuroiler birds for meat, whereby they can be bought at a good price, because these are type of birds which look like the local, and depending on the market, like for me in my area here in Uganda, that people more consume those multicolor birds than the single color bird. So when you look at the Kuroiler and the local, they all have multicolors. You can find the white, reddish, the other brownish, then white and black. So they have multicolors, and that is the same for the Kuroilers. And when they are buying them, you will find that the rate may be between 35,000 to 50,000, depending on the weight of your birds. And if they are well fed, they can give you a good weight. So we have also meat as one of the advantages. We have eggs, and we have the day one, hatching day one chicks. So when it comes to the resistant to diseases, these Kuroilers are resistant to diseases the same way as local are. So when it comes to the diseases, you will not be challenged too much. So you contain the diseases, and they normally are healed. So those are some of the advantages. Then when we come to the lifespan, the Kuroilers can stay in production between 5 to 7 years. So you can keep your Kuroilers for 5 to 7 years in production. Then those are some of the advantages of growing the Kuroiler type of birds. When it comes to food consumption, some farmers fear food consumption. When we talk about the Kuroiler birds, they don't consume a lot of feeds. So at least each bird every day can take about 70 to 110 grams of feeds. So that is the maximum. They cannot go beyond 110. And in that, we use also some supplements like the grass. You can also put leftovers. So they can eat anything. So we can give them some grass, so they can feed on the plant materials, then the feeds. And since they take around 70 to 100 grams, so the feeds consumed will not be too high, and all this money will come out because we estimate a broiler to use between 1 month to 5 months. We are expecting it to take, if we calculate in Uganda shillings, it will not exceed 25 to 28,000 Uganda shillings. So if it goes too beyond, let's say, okay, 30,000 Uganda shillings. So let's say that it has used 30,000 at maximum. That is the bare maximum. You cannot go beyond that. That one includes feeds, let's say water, let's say medicine, and maintain the house. Let's say that each one has consumed 30,000 Uganda shillings. Then when it comes to the market, we are selling our birds between 35,000 to 50,000 Uganda shillings. So we are making a profit. Even at the bare maximum, we still make profits. So that's the advantage of broilers. At whatever stage you sell it, it will make profits. So when it comes to the type of breeds, I would recommend to, if you are just a starting farmer, to go into the broiler type of birds, because these are the best. If you don't go into the locals, then unless when you want to go into layering thousands of birds, then you can think about the commercial layers, because the commercial layers, for them, they are more of egg production, and to compete in the market, then you have to do more, like you have to have many birds so that you can have many eggs to be taken to the market. Otherwise, stick to the broilers or the local, because those are the dual purpose birds. And for me, there are this the one they call the sasso. Those are more like the broilers, but for them they are single color. They are brownish. For me, I would recommend to do these broilers which are multicolor, because they are more looking like the locals. So they may have a higher market, unless when you are going to sell your birds in kilograms, like you slaughter and sell in kilograms, then you can go for the sasso. No one will see the color of the feathers. But if you want to sell the live birds, as in live birds, it is better to go into these multicolor broilers. They are the best at the market, and people are willing to pay. They are willing to pay the price. So don't worry about the price, that maybe the price will fluctuate. Though sometimes the price of feeds increases, but that's all about business. In every business, you encounter changes. You will not have a constant income or a constant profit. Sometimes the profits may go high, and sometimes they may go low. So it depends. But we also have that solution for that, you can calculate the number of kilograms you are going to use on your farm. Then you stock the feeds. Of course, sometimes we face some challenges about the income, but still you can try your best to minimize the cost of feeds. For example, when we come in Uganda, when it goes into December, January, those are the periods where we get these maize at very low prices. So if you have 100 birds and you estimate them to use maybe 500 kilograms, 500 kilograms of maize, then you just need to buy maize. Stock your 600 kilograms of maize. When you stock those 6 sacks, Then what you will be left with will be just buying concentrates. You buy concentrates, you mix into your feeds, and you grow your chicken. So that's one of the ways we can minimize the cost of feeds. You just target when the production for maize is high, you buy and stock. Then by the time the feeds increases, the price of feeds increases, then for you, you have already stocked, so you don't go into that effect. So my fellow starters, those who have just joined the poultry business, I recommend you to go into these Kuroilers or local. Those are the best breeds for the starters. Then if you want to go into thousands, then you can, or like 500 plus, then you can go into commercial layers and maybe the broilers. Personally, I've not raised the broilers and the commercial layers because I'm just starting. So I have a few number of birds at the farm. So I'm just starting. But even if when I reach, because my chicken house can accommodate up to 250 birds. But even if I make it full, it will be more of Kuroilers. Maybe I will have around 200 Kuroilers and 50 locals. So that's my target. But I've not reached that target yet, because currently I have only 100 birds at the farm. So that is almost half of what I'm targeting. So in the case of any question, feel free to put into the comments. You can comment, like, share, subscribe to our channel. Then we shall keep on giving you updates about the poultry farming, mainly local and Kuroiler, and we shall keep tracking how our chicks are growing on the farm. So this week they have been 3 weeks, and you have seen that they are increasing. The size is increasing. They are just 3 weeks, but when you look at them, you may think that they are already 4 to 5 weeks. Those are the Kuroilers. That's how they grow. So we shall track them until when they start laying eggs. So for now, let me end here. We shall meet in the next video, either on Sunday or Monday.